who you are, so the people who are going to be listening in, so they get a better understanding of who you are as a person and your background. And yeah, we'll start there.
Okay. So I'm Shauntay White. I am an entrepreneur and an educator. I just got a degree in early childhood education. I'm just a regular girl, just trying to live my dreams.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty private person, so being out, just I just got introduced to YouTube, so just coming here and traveling, and it's weird, joining this organization and then being thrown into this episode of the EastEnders, because that's how I feel. It's like an episode of the EastEnders.
EastEnders.
But a little.
Can I ask you?
That's what it feels like. Sure.
Oh, I hate that soap. I used to watch it many years ago because my mother used to force me to watch it. Duh. So
my mother watches it now.
Oh dear. Okay. May I ask, have you been to Africa before you had come to Gambia? Had you been to Gambia before?
Not to the Gambia. I studied abroad in Namibia, Africa, 8 years ago. When I was going to school for business management, I got the opportunity to study abroad. I went to an international center workshop. I was on campus all day. I popped in there. The director ended up looking like me, and I walked up to her and I said, I would like to go to Africa. At that time, I was an unemployed student. I was paying for school, but I received over $10,000 to study abroad. And that was when I first got my first taste of Africa. Since I was younger, I've always wanted to visit the continent. I just didn't know how I would get in. I thought the military, the Peace Corps, but when I studied abroad in Namibia, Africa, I was at an orphanage. I was there for 6 weeks. And ever since then, 8 years ago, I've been trying to get back. And a student, classmate of mine, she's older than I am. She's retired military. And we were looking at Ghana, just going to go after we graduated. And we were going to go to Ghana in July, but then, C-19 happened. And we were looking at Ghana and saw that Ghana was a little expensive. So she was like, well, let's try to Gambia. And just by chance, my brother sends me a video of Invest Relocate Africa. And that's how I kind of just hopped on, looking for a way out, looking for a way out of America.
Yeah. Like a pretty common story, actually, at this present moment. There are many people who are looking for an exit. I'll just touch on this, but I'll say that Art Catheys and this organization knows this. They know that there are people out there who are following their passion blindly and perhaps are indulging in people that they wouldn't necessarily or normally indulge in order to facilitate a move out of America. And I'm guessing that's the same situation you're in. Many people, of course, in the video that I posted, actually, were saying, well, these, Art Catheys and Kwesi Boyd, these are not people that you would want to mess around with. How are they able, let me ask you this, how are they able to sort of facilitate getting young professionals like yourself, like Phoenix, people with a decent background and intelligence? How are they? I mean, are they really efficient?
I really do feel, like you said, they capitalize on the trauma. The trauma of everyone wanting to leave America. Because honestly, in actuality and reality, if I met Art, outside and the way she speaks, at first, you know, I was like, okay, it's a message, right? It's a message. But then it just got to be more hate filled. And I'm like, I can't listen to this. It's just, there's ways of saying things, and you get more bees with honey than you do with vinegar, right? So there's ways of saying things with love. And I stopped watching her. Now, from what was explained to me, there was a business side of it. There was a reason why I went to school for early childhood education. Everyone in America told me, you're not going to make any money. They don't pay teachers anything. But they did not know that my goal was to leave the United States.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that if I got a degree in education, I can go and teach anywhere because other countries appreciate teachers. Only America doesn't appreciate the teachers, you know? So that was my plan of leaving America. So when this happened, I don't mind going to an underdeveloped country. I don't mind. I love to travel. 6 years ago, I moved from the East Coast to the West Coast by myself. I didn't know anyone, you know, so I'm just a free spirit, and I'm just going to pursue my dreams, right? This is the only journey that I have, and I'm going to live the hell out of it. So that's how I went into Invest, Relocate Africa, because what was proposed to me was, and I had quite a bit of conversations with Kwesi. What was proposed to me was a career path. You know, the 8-bedroom mini hotel, that was my investment. That's what I invested in. So it was proposed to me, I make natural products for hair and skin. So he's saying, oh, your products can go in the store. You know, we can have an education hub. So in my mind, I can open up my after school program. I can open up my preschool. I can just be a serial entrepreneur, which that's what I want to be in America, but I don't have the funds to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's weird because you always try to be aware of con artists. And it wasn't until I got off the plane when I really saw, you know, I mean, I've been in the meetings and he's creating spreadsheets while we're in it, but I think because I am just like Phoenix, I'm totally guilty of just wanting out. I didn't pay attention to the red flags.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm like, okay, things are not perfect. Nothing is going to be perfect. And I said, well, maybe he's just not showing the bad part. You know, I know what it's going to be like. It's an underdeveloped country, but I didn't know there's no money. I didn't know it was as bad as it was. And he was pushing me to invest more. This was my education money. This was for me to get my master's in special education, you know, and I just went ahead and I went all in. I mean, I didn't invest as much as I was going to, but I went all in.
Can I ask you, do you mind sharing with us how much ballpark, you don't have to tell exactly, a ballpark figure on how much you invested with this organization?
So one of the things about me and that I had to check Kwesi about is, you know, he didn't say how much I invested, but he basically told people that I was one of the largest investors. And I didn't like that because I'm a very private person, especially when it comes to finances, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I can say this, a project costs 10,000, right? I invested 5 figures. So it's not, and you know, my nickname is Swim Sally in America. I have sued everyone and have not lost a case, and I don't have Esquire behind my last name. You know, so he won't say anything to me because he knows Phoenix was an intricate part of the organization behind the scenes, and Shauntay White was the money. And I'm going after him because you can't do this to people.
No.
But yeah, it was a nice lump sum. And what I know now, I didn't even need him. I could have came and got a compound, a car. I didn't even need him. But we trusted him.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the problem. I think you're not the only one. Absolutely not the only one who's going through this. I don't know whether you've noticed, but he has just posted a video on his YouTube channel, and I've been trying to get a hold of him basically, and he hasn't responded back to me. And he's just posted a video. Actually, I think it was about an hour ago, and he's standing in front of a whiteboard, and he's sort of doing all these numbers, and in front of a lot of people. And I'm looking at the audience, and the audience are just in awe of the way he's acting, the way he's talking. And I was looking at him, and I thought, wow, this guy is super confident. He seems like he knows what he's talking about. I can see how he was able to manipulate people, because he seems really, I mean, my partner came in, she looked, she's like, that does not seem like this kind of guy that would do the things that people are implying that he has done. And I said to her, I said, you cannot look at people and do that, because it's not about the looks. Correct. It's about what they do,
Especially when they're good.
Exactly. When they're good, you don't know.
Especially when they're slick with their tongue, because he's very slick with their tongue. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah. Like the audience.
Yeah, the audience, they looked at him like
I'm sorry.
Sorry, yeah, I think we got a bit of a delay. They were looking at him like he was some sort of, prophet. And they looked like they were ready to throw their money at him, which is so I'm really disheartened by this, because I know that you're not the only person who has heavily invested a lump sum of their savings towards, for all intents and purposes, a scam.
Correct. And just to elaborate on the audience, he is a master of creating an illusion. Okay, I can guarantee you, I was there. I mean, it's been crazy since I got off the airplane. If you want to get into that, I'll get into that. But from day one, on day two, I saw him set up. Well, not him, but he said his team. And we all know that these are young people that are at impressionable ages. They come from destitute situations, and he exploited that, but I saw him set up just a corner. They swept that area, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking at it as an investor. As an investor, I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is okay, Shauntay, you lost your money. That's what I was saying to myself. But I hadn't seen the property, so I'm like, okay, maybe it's still some hope, maybe the properties. But he has brainwashed these young people. One of the first videos he showed me 2 videos. I mean, I'm not young, I have a career, but he decides to show me 2 Scientology videos. And when he showed me that, the first thing I thought of was the American series with Leah Remini that came out. And I'm just like, that's why these young people are just honed in on him, and it's like he's their God. And he's not even paying them living wages. A couple of the young people said to me, Shauntay, he's not paying us money to live off of. My water is off. But you know what? I'm still, why I believe, they said that they believe in the movement. And they do, because the reason why him and Art was able to do so much and collect so much money, because if anyone really looks at the model, it's an excellent model. We need Americans in another country, because we know if anyone goes to another country, they're going to gravitate to the people that they're most common with. Our Gambian brothers and sisters, when they go to America, they're going to connect with their Gambian brothers and sisters. So just like Americans here We know what they're looking for. We know the accommodations, and they are looking for someone that they can connect with. So we understand the model is just, it was so many red flags. Art and Kwesi talked in their videos about both of them being recovering drug addicts. And it's now, I'm just like, oh man, Shauntay, how didn't you hear that? How didn't, because I don't want to judge people. Some people have things in their past, but they've gotten past it. But once I saw how he was behaving on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, I'm like, he's on drugs. That's the only thing for me that will explain the erratic behavior, because you tell me one thing one day, the next day you have another story, the third day I'm like, this is not a business.
Can I ask one thing? Did you meet Art Catheys at any point?
I did not. I didn't have really any desire to meet her. But listening to her videos from in the past, she always told people, we're not going to be best friends. Don't think you're coming over here and we're going to be besties. And she always says all she needs is her Wi-Fi, her weed, and something else. I don't know. But no, she's a recluse. The Gambian people, she cannot come outside. She cannot come outside. If she comes outside, it's with Kwesi and Kwesi only. She is a recluse. There's some people that I've talked to. I'm in a village. They said if she comes outside, it's beep, beep, beep. Yeah, because we're visitors. We are visitors, and you come here, you're abusing the staff. No one, they telling Kwesi to say something to her. He's not man enough to say anything to her. How do you come here and talk down to our brothers and sisters and stand in front of the camera and preach unity? But every time I turn around, you're insulting people. She made a video about me too. I don't watch them. I don't watch the videos. People send me screenshots because I know me. I know where she's staying. He gave her apartment. That was our apartment.
Oh,
and he gave it to
okay. I think I know this apartment as well. I've been doing my research. I hear it's a 2-bedroom apartment, is it? Is it sort of?
So there's a 2-bedroom apartment, 2-bedroom, 2 bathrooms in Senegambia that they were promoting. She's no longer in that property. She's no longer in that property because she has so much hate inside of her that she can't get along with anyone. So now she has created this dynamic with the owner of the apartment that they don't want to deal with any Americans. She's in there mixing Islam with voodoo. I don't know what's wrong with this woman. She is crazy. But people are still sending money to her. And I'm like, okay, y'all, do you not believe us?
I think people are slowly but surely starting to realize who she is, because on this video that Kwesi, I forgot it. I don't know how to pronounce his name, Kwesi or Kwesi. He is crazy as well. Yeah. On this video, in the comments, he didn't turn off the comments. And of course, people went on him straight away. They were like, what on earth do you think you're doing? Take this video down and go and sort out what has been going on your watch. What are you doing? Take this down straight away. No one believes anything. And then I think what happened? Oh yeah, there was an Instagram post from what's her name? From Art Catheys. There was an Instagram post, and in that Instagram post, people that once again you can't. Well, I think yeah, you can turn off the comments, but she didn't turn off the comments, and people were on her because in this Instagram post she was once again asking for money, and people were like, are you crazy? Are you like living in some sort of alternate universe where you don't know what's going on? People know what's
Yeah.
up now. Maybe
Correct.
it's for the best. Maybe it's for the best that they continue to believe that they can still do something, because it gives the proper authorities time.
They're just putting the nails in the coffin. They're nailing
Exactly.
their own coffin.
A lot of people were talking, saying that she fled the country, but she doesn't seem like a person that's thinking logically, because the logical thing to do would be to flee a country, which is a tiny country like the Gambia. You could cross the border in 30 minutes, no problem.
Correct.
It would be a logical thing to do. But I don't think she's speaking or thinking
here.
logically. So she's still there. She still believes that the game isn't up.
She's still here because when we went to go see a 2-bedroom apartment, because we knew that they were leasing the property, that they weren't purchasing. But the 2-bedroom apartment that was going to be the work hub for me in Phoenix, he showed us the apartment. And then the next day he calls and says, oh, well, Art came to her senses. She's coming around. She's going to go to that apartment. And I'm like, hold up. That's when I had to say something. And I said, I'm not going to continue to adjust my life for one person. I'm not, if you gave us the apartment, that's when he just went off, and well, if it wasn't for Art, none of us would be here. And I'm just like, let's not act like my investment, because guess what? Invest, Relocate Africa investors are paying Art's rent, okay? All this money or whatever she gets from Facebook and social media, she's not using it because she came over here with nothing. She says, I didn't come over here with $10,000. She came over here with nothing, okay? She couldn't even feed herself. She couldn't even buy a pack of gum. Yeah, she's messing with the right one, because like, I don't say anything to anyone. I haven't met this woman, but you want to make videos about me? Like the apartment that they were going to put us in, the Senegambia, that's beautiful, colorful. That's where she was staying. We can't stay there. It's so many roaches. And I'm like, I'm not staying there. Yes. But she wanted to get online and talk about people with roaches. I've been to plenty of people's homes. I even had to use the outhouse. I didn't even see roaches in there. But you come here and these people get up and they clean every morning. Every morning. She doesn't clean. They had to spray the apartment. I'm not going to stay in a roach-infested apartment, and I've invested it's just, I don't know what they did with the money, but if they both are recovering drug addicts, if they've never seen a certain amount of money, it's hard. That temptation, and I think it just got the best of them. I haven't seen any drug activity, but what I do see, I lived in New York, I lived in New Jersey, I didn't grow up in the suburbs. I know what it looks like when someone is on drugs, okay? That would explain them running all the money. It wouldn't be a good excuse, but it would explain all the money being gone. Kwesi, he's just making videos. He's not even, there's some investor threads that I'm still in, because one morning, I think it was like 2:00 in the morning, I just started getting dings on my phone, and he took me out of all of the investor threads because I spoke to the investors. There was a few strategy investors that were saying something, and he's ignoring them. So since he ignored them, I went in and I told them exactly what happened. And it wasn't too cute. I have a foul mouth at times because sometimes that's all people understand, and then one woman, he just ignored her, and then he said, oh, these people, he just sent like a 30-second message. He didn't say anything about her investment, nothing. He just wants to talk about us. They just got here. Yeah, we did just get here, and we're going to expose you because the people that were working with you, if they said anything, most Americans wouldn't believe it. Oh, they're just Gambians. They're trying to scam people because of the disconnect of Africans in the West and Africans in the East. But they're happy that we're here because he can be exposed. From what the link that they send me, it says $68,000. Phoenix is saying it's in the 6 figures. believe it because she saw more finances than I did.
Mm-hmm.
I specifically did not look at people's investments because I didn't want to know what they invested. That's not what I was there for. But the fact that I'm talking to people and I'm telling them that this is legitimate, I put my money in, this is legitimate. And as soon as my feet touch the ground, it's all this illegal activity. And I just,
it's got to be disheartening.
It's horrible
for you. You've only been there 2 weeks, and to have so much happen in such a short period of time. How are you dealing with this? I mean, you know, you've got a beautiful smile on your face at this present moment. And there are going to be people who are going to be like, wow, you must be a lot of
because
people,
I'm here.
Yeah, a lot of people would be on the edge right now. How are you dealing with this? I mean, are you okay personally yourself? How, you know?
So, excuse me. Every last one of us have had a breakdown at some point in time. The great thing is, I have to look at the investment as a loss for right now. The one thing that, you know, is giving me some type of solace is we know what we can do. Phoenix and I, and the people that are rallying behind us, the support that we have, we know that this happened for a reason. You know, we're going to be able to bridge a lot of people together, our Gambian brothers and sisters and our African brothers and sisters in the West. So that's what gives me solace. I work out, okay?
Good.
I have to release my stress. I'm a high, I have a type A personality. So I have to, I'm trying, but the one thing, I have my breakdowns. We all have, I have my crying days. I have my days I want to go over there and whoop his ASS. If I was a man, I would do it, but I'm not. So, but
I'm guessing that's one of the things. This situation is one of the things which enabled you and Phoenix to forge this relationship together, where you are essentially two people with your backs against the wall in a foreign country, in a situation where your resources have been taken off you, and basically you've got a mix of people who are riding on you, and you're riding on them. You both have an understanding that basically you have the whole of Gambia behind you. You know, you have the diasporans who, of course, are sane, who are also behind you as well. Yeah,
and we're here. So in spite of everything, brother, we're in the Smiling Coast. We're on the Smiling Coast. So I mean, I rode a horse. I'm enjoying my experience. I mean, you know, day one and day two, he borrowed $140 and then he borrowed $300. That was my vacation money, you know. But in spite of, like, God has given me an amazing life, an amazing testimony. Kwesi is just a speed bump. He's just a speed bump. He's going to get his, you know, but I'm not going to let that soil this experience. You know, I'm only supposed to be here until November 12th. I'm kind of happy things are happening the way they're happening in America because I get to extend my stay until January. And then when I go home, it's just for me to pack up everything. And I'm coming back here. He's not going to stop my move here, because I feel like I keep asking God, I'm like, well, it seems like all you wanted me to do is get on the airplane. And I get on the airplane, I'm just like, now fight. And he knows I'm strong enough to do it. And me and Phoenix, I had never met her before I got off the airplane, but I didn't meet her until I was here. And we are our support system. You know, if we weren't here together, I wouldn't know what we would do. But just the fact that our Creator and our ancestors have placed all these people in our path and behind us, a sister sent me $50 yesterday. I have never gotten a Cash App, but it's not for me. I told her what we're going to do is his staff needs to be paid. He hasn't paid his staff, I'm paying his staff. And I'm happy that someone has blessed me with money, because now the 5 people that, his 5 staff members, the team members that have not been paid, I get to pay them some Dalasi. And that's what it's about. Yes, we lost money. It's okay. Money, like you said, money comes and goes, but the relationship that we're creating and the empowerment of these young girls that he has beat down, where they feel like they need him for everything.
I'm sorry. Do you mean emotionally beat down or physically?
Emotionally and mentally, not physically that I know of, but emotionally and physically, where they have no self-esteem.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's the kind of person that needs to beat someone down physically. It seems like he can use the valor of his tongue to get his way with anyone. It's incredible.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. I know that you guys are planning something, some legal action against him. He's an American. Yeah. He'll have to come back to America at some point, right? So
Ghana, I'm sorry, but the Gambian government, he already got in trouble once. He got arrested. He already got in trouble once, and they had to pay money to get him out. The judge said, if you get in trouble here again, you're going to prison. Okay? So whatever is going to happen, I can't really speak on the legal aspect of it, but Kwesi Boyd and Art Catheys will be held accountable for the international wire fraud and what they've been doing. I just have to look at some law books and talk to some people, but white collar crime is what they've committed.
Yes.
We know that, right? So, and there's extradition laws. They're not going to be able to run. They're going to be held accountable. And Kwesi has just done so much. He's just a criminal. He's just a criminal on so many levels. And then we're going to create this group, and these women are doing this. And I'm like, if people don't see that he's everywhere. I don't watch his stuff, but I guarantee you he's using people from his team to watch my page, to watch Phoenix page, and he's just acting off of that. I don't have to act off of anything he does because he's a non-factor in my life. I'm going to come after him legally, but other than that, we had to get a compound. So we've acquired this compound. It's modern. So we have things in store for the people that are coming. We cannot let Kwesi Boyd and Art Catheys' demonic, wicked behavior destroy this movement for the Gambian people and for the Americans and for the UK and for whoever else from Jamaica. We have a couple, whomever else wants to come to the continent and build and create. That's what we're here for. Forget them. God is going to take care of them, and the government going to take care of them.
Are you going to create a mechanism, some formal mechanism, so that people can come through you instead of going through an organization like Art Catheys? Are you going to set something up there? I mean, is that what's in the planning at this moment? That's brilliant.
We're in the process of creating some systems and creating a report, a real estate report, but we're not going to charge, right? If someone wants to bless us and we could bless the community, then that's fine, but it's going to be complete transparency. When people send, there's, a separate accountant, we will not have control over that money. If someone sends me money through CASHAAP, then guess what? I'm going to show them exactly. It's content, it's video content, but we want to be completely transparent, especially coming from this organization that lied about everything. I told them we need to tell people this. If the water pressure, someone fell in the bathroom because there's no traction in the shower part, and they fell. it's just this, he doesn't care. He made the comment when he picked me up, he made the comment, oh, well, maybe some people are going to be sleeping on the floor. It wasn't until I saw mattresses on the floor in the Ghana Town property that he was dead serious. Something's attacking you. Is it a fly? He's just attacking you.
It was. Sorry about that.
But yeah.
So
it's okay.
Sorry. Yeah. So he's got.
It's okay.
He just doesn't have a heart. More like it seems as though he has more of a sociopathic type of borderline personality, where he doesn't have any feelings for anybody else. It's all about him, and it's quite strange, because I had one of the comments. I looked in the comment section, and one of the people in the comment section said, birds of a feather flock together, or something like that. He said, don't you find it amazing that you've got these two people feeding off one another, creating these organizations, quite sophisticated organizations and mechanisms to take money from people, knowing, lying
Correct.
with every breath that they can muster, to take money off people who trust them. I don't think they care. They don't understand what that means to them, and they believe.
They don't.
I truly believe that they don't understand the ramifications of the situation that they're in themselves. I think they believe that they will get away with it. They don't understand that the chicken has come home to roost already. It's pretty much,
Correct. I think it's because they think they're here.
Sorry?
I'm sorry.
No, sorry.
I think it's because they're in Africa. Because they're here, they think, oh, they're so far behind. We can do these things. We can get away with it. But they are a perfect criminal mastermind team. They really are partners in crime, because Art she's a YouTuber. So she can get people riled up. And then with the rah-rah, we know that anything negative gets way more attention than something positive. So she knows what she's doing. And then being in the Gambia, I watched just because she was in Africa. She knows that. Now, what Art has never worked with the money side of it, as far as I know, from what Kwesi say. Art is a YouTuber. That's what he keeps saying. Art is a YouTuber. Y'all, you don't have to worry about what she says, because you're working with the money side of it, the investment side, the career path. So y'all don't have to worry about that. That's why we were like, okay, so we don't have to worry about her and her messing up our life. Y'all are going to be, he said, we're going to be living on the property. We're going to be managing the property, creating a career path. So we really didn't pay attention to Art and her negative energy. We didn't pay attention to that. We just put it away. However, he knew to put her in front, and then him behind the scenes stealing the money and then pushing the money to her. I saw that myself right from my phone on the beach. And I saw someone say, I'm going to send the first payment of the invoice, but I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. And they sent it. And then they said they're going to send another one. And as soon as they sent it, within 5 minutes, he transferred $900. So it was $999. He transferred $900 right to Art. And I was like, Phoenix, do you see this? But he had just told me that Art is not affiliated. So why are you sending her money? Why are the investors paying her rent if she's not affiliated with the organization? Why is he withholding money so she's sitting in the dark for 3 days? It's craziness. It's absolute craziness. But we should not be paying for Art's life. The investors should not be funding Art's life. So Kwesi, with the misappropriation of funds, he knows what he's doing. I just think that he thinks that But like you said, the sociopathic, tendencies, that mind, they're better than everyone else. I'm more intelligent than you. You can't tell me anything. I know what I'm doing. And that's how they get caught. That's how they get caught.
Yeah. Can I ask your feelings on this?
Sure.
Because I had more than one person say that maybe it's Kwesi, this Kwesi boy, maybe it's him, that he is the actual person that's pulling all the strings. Art Catheys is just a puppet, a front lady, a honey pot, or whatever you call it. That she is basically.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
No. Why?
I don't believe that. I don't. So looking at, if you look at her videos and you see what she's talking about, Art is strategically asking for money. Even on her social media, she is constantly promoting and advertising, asking for money. Her team of people that work with her. This is not a hope. I don't want to say that she's acting like she is, oh, I'm just me. I'm little modest, meek Art, and Kwesi is, no. Look at her videos and how rah-rah she is. She's strategically asking for money, even to this point, to say, oh, the executive stole money. I don't have access to the money, so I didn't steal anything, right? Mm-hmm. Phoenix has access to the money, but she's not stealing anything. She's locking things down so you don't steal money from other people. But for her to get up there and say that and still ask for money, mm-hmm. I'm just asking people to think, right? Do a little bit more thinking than we did, because they have a blueprint now. We showed the video. We're going to show the video of Ghana Town. It's just, we're finally in a place where we're safe and secure, from him. And you saw the video of the hotel. They are, if Art was not involved, why is she still asking for money? She should make enough money from her YouTube. She got 30,000 subscribers. She should make enough money from her Facebook, from her womb school. She charges for everything. If you want to breathe on her, she's going to charge you. So yeah, something is just not right. If she doesn't have any money.
Yeah, that's
something's not right.
That's a good thing. That's a good statement, because she's charging people for these Facebook sort of groups. She's charging them. So is it like $25 or something like that?
The webinars, $25. Yep, $25 for the webinars. $200 for the womb school. Some people didn't even get the link to get in to see the webinar. She charges for consultations. What's that? I think it's like $80 for consultations. And she basically said, I'm paraphrasing, but if you want time with me, make them pay you. Make them pay you for everything. That's not how we are. That's not how I operate. If someone asks me a question, I'm going to share information. And you don't have to pay me, but that's that capitalistic society thinking. It's all about me, me, me. She brings that nonsense and that way of thinking here. That's why she is a prisoner in another country. She came here to be a prisoner in another country. She can't come outside.
Yeah.
She can't come outside.
She can't come outside, but she'll have to come out at some point. She can't stay in there forever, can she?
But I tell you one thing, especially if Kwesi don't pay her rent.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, especially if he doesn't pay her rent, then she can't. But she won't go anywhere without Kwesi. She won't. He caters to her. He brings her whatever. He is her security. He is her security. That's why I say they're in cahoots.
Yeah. Are they together, romantically involved?
So I don't, but look from the outside looking in, that's what it looked like, because she was insinuating her husband. So I thought her husband and child was here. You know, in the comments, people said she had a husband, she had a child. I think that's on her cover page on Facebook. But then someone, you know, they told me, oh, she's here by herself. And I'm like, well, what about her child? What about her husband? She talks about all these women not doing this and not doing that for them. Well, where is your spouse? So, I mean, in my opinion, from what I see, from what I saw on the videos, it seems like she was insinuating that Kwesi was hers. She was staying at his property when she first got there. Whatever happened, he kicked her out. That's what he said. But I think once he started getting all these concubines, I think she may have had a problem with that. And they, half her age. So I think, I don't know. And that's just my assumption. I don't know about their craziness, but I do think, and people have said that they have had relations.
Mm-hmm. I think
but no other man will touch her here. I think that's why she's having so much craziness. No other man will touch her here.
No, doesn't she consult about meeting men in the Gambia and charge people? She does.
Well,
I'm sure she does. She has some sort of service.
Oh, the
dating.
The ancestral matchmaking. Yes, you're right. But you know, that's what I don't get. There's videos where she see the handsome man and she's like, oh, y'all better come over here and get you a man. Y'all better come over here and get you a man. Now, anyone can go to my Facebook page and see. I'm here to get married and have children. I'm financially stable. I have my education. It's time for me to. So I'm dating. But I don't understand why she's making videos of women now. Oh, y'all coming over here getting a man. Well, you told us to do it and we listened and now you got a problem with it? What's going on? But she has an issue with women. Kwesi does as well. He's a misogynist. He really has an issue with women. But she glorifies the men and then she just demeans the women. And I just don't understand, because I'm not built like that. I'm not a con artist. I'm a pure spirit. I give my last. As people say, I get taken advantage of, but it's okay because when I give out of a cheerful heart, God blesses me. You know, the ancestors, the energy, karma comes back to me. So I really can't understand their way of scamming people and just lying. And my brain, I can't wrap my brain around that because that's not how I think. That's not how I operate.
Mm-hmm. I think once again, they have manipulated good people who don't understand that there are people like them who are so callous to use a situation where people of their own kin are being robbed right in front of their faces. And most of the time, they're probably using that money right in front of them. To me, there is something, I don't know. It would be a very good day to see both of these two people face some form of justice. And I just really hope, I'm not going to hope, actually. I know that you two are going to come through. And I am, you said you had a CASHAAP, don't you? You had a CASHAAP?
Yes, I have a CASHAAP.
Are people asking you to putting money into this CASHAAP, particularly for a legal fund, maybe to try and help you guys with some sort of legal expenses?
I never thought about that. I was just going to go out and get a lawyer myself, but it's so weird for me to ask for help. But if anyone is willing to donate, we are willing to show them exactly where the money is going, especially like, we don't want to talk about the investors because they already push money out, you know? But by me accepting a friend request yesterday, excuse me, I accepted a friend request yesterday and the young lady was just like, thank you so much for accepting my friend request. I've been wanting to come. Thank you for showing, full transparency. Do you have a CASHAAP? And she just sent me $50. And I'm just like, I literally cry, like I said, I'm going to pay the staff with that, pay the team. But I I'm always the giver. So when it's on the other hand, I get really emotional, but it shows me that there are still good people out there. You know, everyone isn't like Kwesi and Art. And that's what me and Phoenix are trying to show. We're just trying to show people that don't let this soil your experience of coming to the Gambia or coming to the continent, period. There are good and bad people everywhere. It's just sad that we're both, I don't like calling myself American, but we're both from America. And personally, I moved here for multiple reasons, but just the thought of having protection, right? African women in the West, we're not protected. They always say, y'all so strong. We're strong because we don't have any other choice. Not gonna say a lot of our men, some men do protect us, but it's always Captain trying to save somebody else, you know? So coming here, I was just like, we're gonna have protection, you know? We're gonna have protect. And then we get here and the main person that brought us here, you know, he told us, oh, you know, I assaulted my wife twice. And I'm like, now this was during the meeting after he had to apologize to Phoenix for kicking her out on the first day I was there. He kicked her out, said, she got to get the F out of here. And I'm like, well, where's she supposed to go? Like, she's an investor and she's halfway across the world. I said, you need to calm down. He wouldn't get her nothing to eat, anything to eat. He was like, I don't want anything. I said, well, we need to eat. And he's like, well, you can buy her something. And I'm looking at him like, it was just like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And this was the first day I was there. So that was just like, I mean, I woke up the next day like, was this a dream? So then the next day when we had a meeting, because he just wanted to kick Phoenix out, we all come with different skill sets. And he knows that. So he said, I didn't want Phoenix to leave. I said, well, you need to give her an apology. So throughout that meeting, he always wants to tell these stories like Dr. Bill Cosby on the Cosby Show, but he always wants to tell these stories, right? And he starts talking to us about him beating his wife. And me personally, I'm thinking like, is this a threat? Because I bought my 10-pound weight and you won't have any kneecaps if I have to protect myself. But that's when I realized we can't stay here. Like, we hired security when we were staying at the Ghana property. We had to secure something that had our names on it, because if he jumped that fence, I didn't come here to commit, it wouldn't be murder, manslaughter. I don't want to have to take his life because he's trying to do something to me. I don't know this man, you know, and the way he is being aggressive towards women. Thank God for our diaspora community and our brothers and sisters looking out for us, because he's a man and we're in a foreign country and he's just, it was scary at one point in time. We don't want him knowing where we live. They putting out the rhetoric that someone wants to hurt Art. No one's thinking about Art. If anyone wants to hurt Art, it's the Gambian brothers and sisters for her disrespecting them. We don't have anything to do about that. You know, you have to be mindful of what you say. You're a grown woman. But for us to be fearful of where we live, that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. And that's how he made us feel from day one. You know, his character is disgusting. If he has any character, it's disgusting.
Tell me, how do we shut this down? How do we begin to dismantle this mechanism of people sending their money to them and them being disenfranchised once they jump on that plane and land at the airport in Banjul? And oh, sorry, I would like you to actually tell the people actually that are watching this about, first of all, about your first day as soon as you got here on the plane.
Okay.
Let's talk about that first, and then
excuse me.
It's okay, and then I'll get on with I'll complete with what I was just saying. So you paid for your own ticket, right?
Yes, I did.
You land at Banjul Airport. Tell us what happened from there.
I came in through Senegal. I came in through Dakar, Senegal.
Wow.
Yeah, because I couldn't get into Banjul. So I came in through Dakar, Senegal, and he kept saying, if you come through Senegal, we'll have a car for you and this, that, and the third. Well, what I found out, my flight was just 8 hours from JFK to Senegal overnight. I didn't sleep. I get off the plane. They did have a young man there to meet me. He got a taxi. They took me to an apartment. Now, before I got on the plane, Kwesi said, because it's 5 hours away in the car, he said that it was going to cost $500 to get me there for travel. Now, I thought that was pretty steep, but I'm trusting this man, right? He said, we're gonna rent a car, and we're gonna come to, me and Phoenix are gonna come up there, and we're gonna stay in Senegal for a couple of days, and then we'll go back. So I said, okay, then that explains the 500. That did not happen, sir. That did not happen. This Negro took my $500, and God only knows what he did with it, because he did not pay the man that came to pick me up from the airport. This man stayed with me for hours until we got a cab. This was it was just an apartment, you know. The water was off, so I had to take a bottle bath. That doesn't bother me, right? It's okay, as long as I can get clean. The water goes off here. This is Africa, right? Certain things you can't romanticize about it. Certain things is not going to be, it's fine. The cab comes. I have to pay another $140. Okay.
When you've already paid the $500, you've already paid this $500, you had to pay an extra $140.
Yep. For the taxi from Dakar to the Gambia border, right? He tells me, I'm going to give it back to you when you get here. Okay. Why wouldn't I believe him, right? So I get, excuse me, I get to the border. They drop me off at the border. I'm like, we're not going to cross the border? So he already put it out there. You know, I'm legal now, but yeah, he brought me across the border illegally.
Oh.
I didn't know.
Oh.
This man is crooked. So I didn't know what was happening. We get on the moped. We get there, and I'm like, okay, so when do we get to the Gambia? He was like, we are in the Gambia. I said, well, he was like, oh my God. But he's telling families to come. And then he's using me like, this sister got through. Brother, don't nobody can.
Oh, goodness.
He propped us up for lies. So then we get where we're going. We get in the car, come to find out the rental car that he has, there's no papers on the car. He couldn't go but so far because there's no papers. This man is here doing all type of illegal activity. And I don't care, I'm telling it. He's doing all type of illegal activity. He's driving around. I don't know if he has license, but the license plate and everything on the car wasn't legal. So then the next day, well, no, not the next day. So we get there. And this was it was still kind of dark. No, it was light. We were supposed to go to a restaurant to have a meeting, an executive meeting. And before we left the compound, he was doing all this. This is your orientation. Brother, I run a small business. I don't need orientation. But it's all about content with him. He just wants to record it to act like everything is okay. See, I'm doing this right. They're here, but it's wrong. That's why if anyone sees when I landed, all of my videos are about me. It's not about him because I saw what he was trying to do.
Sorry, sorry, could I just ask, have you got a YouTube channel yourself?
I do.
Okay, Okay, you need to send me the link, and I'll put the link in the description so people can see this. I'm looking forward. I'm going to watch it as soon as this ends.
Thank you. I'll send you the link.
Please do. Sorry,
So
carry on. Continue.
One of the things we were telling him, a lot of people run businesses online from America. So one of the things people were always saying is we need strong internet. We need strong internet. They would say that in Art Catheys' lives, and she would just yell at them, I need internet. Everybody got internet, blah. But when in reality, the internet was not strong. It wasn't. So Phoenix said to him something to him about the internet, and we had an agenda. It was on the whiteboard, right, that you were talking about. We had an agenda of what we were going to do that day. But we never went to the internet place. So when Phoenix questioned him about it, he said something about his closing or something. So she pulled him to the side. She didn't talk to him in front of us. She pulled him to the side. Myself and one of the girls, who I found out is one of his wives, young as ever, we walked down to the beach. I hear voices. I hear him getting loud, and then I hear Phoenix say something. So I kept walking. I didn't know where Phoenix went. All I know is he came down there and he said, that's when he started cussing. Phoenix got to get the F out of here. She act like I don't know what the F I'm doing. I've been doing this for all these. And I'm like, well, what are you talking about? And he's like, there's a budget for things. If you didn't have the money for the internet we needed, we would have paid for it. Phoenix said she would have paid for it, but he just turned into Ike Turner. That was day one. He said, I will get her luggage, put it in the car. It'll be at the Ghana Town property. When we got to the car, he just threw her luggage in there like she ain't shit. Excuse my French. That's how he threw her luggage in there. He didn't get her anything to eat. I got her something to eat. So how can you just throw a woman away when you promised her daughter that you're going to take care of her mother?
I think that's the most disgusting part about it, actually, isn't it? Phoenix told me about this, that this black man told her daughter that she was going to take care of him, and he did the opposite.
Correct, the complete opposite. So that was day one. He called me the next morning and said that Phoenix is out, and I just told him, like, she's not out. She's an intricate piece of this organization. So let's not act like she isn't anything. And once I started talking to him, he said, yeah, I didn't want her to leave. I said, well, there needs to be some apologies in order. And he was, what, I have to apologize? I said, yes. You just said you didn't want her to leave, but you kicked her out. But this was his apology. When we got to his compound, his apology, he wants to give us a glass of wine. I'm like, no, I don't want any wine. We need to talk. But that's what he does. He tries to alter your mind, right? So he basically said, I'm sorry, I love you, get over it. Let's put it behind us. That's basically was his apology. Phoenix said what she said to him. And then every day just got worse and worse. He acted like on day two that he wanted to send me, he wanted to send me $300 through Zelle, $320 through Zelle, so I can get it out of the ATM. I said, okay, if you send it. People send me money through Zelle and I get it. Something happened. I don't think there's any money. I just kept getting an email. And he's like, oh, can I borrow it? If you have your card, can I borrow it? I'll give it back when we get to the place. I'm like, along with the 140, right? He says, yes. So now he has $440 of my money, plus the $500, the 440 is that's my traveling money. That's my vacation money for when I'm here. Plus the 500 that he didn't pay the team to come and get me. When I asked him about it, oh, I'm going to give it back to you with the bookings. I said, hold up, Kwesi, that's not what was said. You said you were going to give it to me that day. So now I have to wait for bookings? He thinks he's gonna furnish everything. That's what, and then I see the money. He's paying his children brides, his child brides. He's paying these young girls, right? He's paying his wives. He's acting like he's big baller. He's giving money to the cops. Like, oh, me and Juliet used to give money to the cops. But this is not your money, dude. This is money that you just borrowed from me. But what I didn't know is before I got there, they were saying, well, how are we going to pay to pick up Shauntay? Phoenix kept saying, Shauntay's coming tomorrow. Shauntay's coming tomorrow. This Negro literally said, it's all right. Shauntay's coming. She got money. So you think I'm going to be your personal ATM? So minus all the YouTube and all this, because I'm a private person, I created a YouTube to show people, to give people what's the word I'm looking for? I want them to experience traveling, you know? So if they see it through me, that's why I created the YouTube. But the way this man put my business out there, like I should literally sue him for defamation of character, because I never said anything to him. I never said anything wrong to him. You know, I believed in everything until I saw that nothing was happening. And then there's no air conditioning. The rooms upstairs aren't furnished. I said, so where's the budget that you were talking about? Oh, we're on a cash system. Well, what does that mean? Oh, when bookings come in, we pay. I'm like, Kwesi, that's not gonna work. So you're gonna wait until bookings come in to start furnishing things? What happened to the money? But then when you ask about the money, then it's complete, it's a wall. Then he turns into Ike Turner, or he's gonna, you know, well, blah, blah, because I gotta be by myself, and then he goes into the whole art thing. I need to keep people away from me, and I need to stay. How are you a director of something and you need to keep people away from you? So people just supposed to give you money and then come over here and you don't see anyone? Who does that?
Listen, there are people that are still on the way to the Gambia and who have made plans. There were plenty of people in my comments section that were like, literally, they've written down, oh, damn, that's it, because they had made plans to use this organization. What would be your advice to these people now? I mean, right now, those ones who have a flight within the next week or two, what would be your advice to them now? Would you still tell them to come, but arrange?
I would tell them.
Yeah.
So what I would say to them, okay, so it's up to them. Because of C-19, they can change their flight with no repercussions. So that's totally up to them. Okay. But if they really want to come, still come. Contact myself, contact Phoenix. What we're doing is I've been going out and I've been looking at properties. And I have to, because there are investors that I spoke to that they packed up their stuff and they're coming. Whether they put their stuff on a shipping container or not, some have, some haven't. They have dates to come. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at properties and we're going to create a real estate, like they did a real estate report, a listing, not a real estate report, a listing. So they have pictures, you know, we'll send them the link. That way they can look at the listing and see what works best for them. It's not gonna be like their listings where you gotta pay $100 and there's really not a lot of contact information in there. It's going to be the name of the agent. There's going to be pictures. If we do video, there's going to be a link for them to see the property. There's going to be the, what it comes with, the price, everything that they need so they can make an educated decision. We have a driver. I don't like using that. We have someone that is family that takes us where we need to be. He stays here, he's our security, you know, we have things set, we're setting things in place. I'm not gonna say we're setting things in place. Our creator and our ancestors is putting things in place for us. And all we have to do is just walk in it. This happened. This is the worst experience. I hate that show, but I'm telling you, that's what everyone, all the UK is like, oh, this is an episode of, this is horrible. This is horrible. But it had to happen. He placed power in the two women's hands that's going to destroy what he did, because what he created is fraudulent. So we have to destroy it. We have to, because we can't allow him to keep doing this to people. So we are encouraging people, they have an option. If they still want to come, contact us. Contact me through Facebook, contact me through Messenger, email me at naturalsbyshauntay@gmail.com. We will help you. We will make sure that you're picked up at the airport. We just need them to tell us what they need, what accommodations they need, so we can continue to work on this. Phoenix does the back office work, which that's what she was doing with Kwesi before. I don't mind being the face. I used to get paid to talk, but I love homes. I love beautiful homes. So I don't mind going and doing that and making sure that people will have somewhere to stay in their experience of coming back home, which is more spiritual and emotional than anything, that it won't be tarnished by these two devils. You know, people don't realize when they come to Africa, it's a beautiful place. It's the Garden of Eden, but what it does for your spirit, connected to your ancestors, that's something that everyone is going to experience differently. And we just want their welcome home to be excellent. I'm gonna tell you a little secret though. So one of the properties that we acquired has a rooftop, just like the mini hotel. So when Kwesi said he didn't want people with, all around him, I brought the idea to him and to Phoenix. You know how when they do the, when you're on a cruise and the captain's dinner, right? Everyone gets all dressed up in their fancy attire. I said, well, why don't we do that? We have a meet and greet, and then you can go and do what you need to do, because we're the ones that's doing the work anyway. That's a great idea, he said. We're still gonna do it. We're still gonna do it, because for me, everything is about hospitality. So our brothers and sisters, no matter where they're coming from, they need to be welcomed home properly. They need to be picked up. If it's females, they need to see females. It shouldn't be it was all males that came to pick me up. I'm comfortable with who I am, but what if the next person wasn't?
Yeah.
He doesn't take any of these things into account. He's just all about book it, send me your money. He doesn't care what happens after the fact, because he's gonna go and hide in his property that the investors paid for. I guarantee you his rent is probably paid for 5-6 years with the investors' money.
Hence the reason why they're staying. Can I ask you another question?
Yeah.
I heard this today. I heard that Art Catheys that her father or something has some sort of contact in the Gambian government.
I don't know that. I don't know who her father is. I met her mother, because her mother is here, but I don't know anything about that. Yeah, okay. I don't know anything about that.
Okay.
I mean, I hope not, because then they may try to save her, but I mean, honestly, so let me just break that thought down of what you just said. If her father is within the Gambian government, is he really going to let her talk about his people like that?
Precisely.
So I don't know, people talk. So sometimes I read the comments and I'm like, wow, this person just made up this whole analogy and they have no, but
I think a lot of
people have their own idea. They're going to.
A lot of people are looking and searching for a reason why Art Catheys hasn't been taken out yet. Not taken out. I mean, that she hasn't.
Correct.
She hasn't been taken out of service. She's still there, doing the same thing that she's still doing, living her life. I think a lot of people.
Because she hasn't met the right person. She met the right one.
No, she has not. That's brilliant.
Because a lot of people, she has insulted people and nobody fought. No one said anything.
Yeah.
No one said anything. Kwesi has wronged so many people, and these people are so, they're more humble than I am. They're better people than I am because they haven't said anything. Juliet hasn't said anything. I met a young woman that I know Kwesi stole from Black Sip. I know he stole $8,000 from her. I know that she's here in an apartment and has been depressed for 3 months because nobody came to pick her up from the airport and he just ignores her. And when she was on the Zoom, he muted her. So her lips was moving, but nothing was coming out. So I know that he has wronged people, but I think that people haven't been in the position to be able to speak out with because if he's paying people, then they're not going to speak out. Juliet, I met her a couple of days ago. You know, she didn't say anything bad about him, nothing. So whatever happened between them, she's keeping her mouth shut because he's probably a non-effing factor in her life. She's going on with her life. But when he saw her, he talked about her nonstop. Why? Because her life is still bothering him. She kept going on because she was the face. Kwesi is a con artist.
You just made
I
something.
feel like Art.
You just made something click in my mind. I remember her putting out a video saying, "My man has left me." A while back now, it must have been 4 or 5 months ago, but I remember her putting out that video and it's just made sense. It must have been him. It must have been him.
It was him.
Oh, he's got his fingers.
I've seen the database, sir.
Oh,
it's
dear.
him. Because some people's names say Black Sip. He stole members. And from what the young lady that I met, he stole money. $8,000. That's her savings. And he doesn't care. So he doesn't have a soul. He does not have a soul. I don't know what's going on in here with him. I would hope it's drugs because that's the thing that would make sense. Because if it's not, then he's just, I've seen the devil in the flesh if he's not on drugs. I know he drinks really a lot, but alcohol don't make you do that. It make you get crazy, but is it really gonna make you be a con artist and just continue to steal people money and lie and just demean women? Yeah. Just make posts about women to just talk about them. Like, what about your sister? What about his sister that's in the groups? She doesn't see anything wrong with him talking about women like this?
I didn't know
his mother. I never met her. But yeah, he is, and he kicked us out of Invest Relocate Africa, but people are sending us screenshots. Most of the time I don't read them because it just makes me angry. But when I saw what he said about Chanel Nicole and you know, what man disrespects a young lady like that? Because she's taken up for her mother? He's not a man. He's a little boy in a man's body, unfortunately.
Yeah. I truly believe that he will get his just desserts. But I know that there are going to be plenty of people out there that are going to want to help both you and Phoenix to one, bring some justice to what's happened here. Clear Phoenix's name, because Phoenix's name has been put out there now, and just dismantle this system that they are using.
Her reputation.
Yeah, and it's on the line, but she seems to be handling it as well with a lot of grace.
Like
archetypical African American women. It's absolutely beautiful to see that you've still got your smile on your face, and Phoenix. You just seem pretty confident.
I can tell you. We are, but I can tell you, brother, we're still women, right? We are still women. And I came here for me to take my rightful place as a woman, you know, where we can be protected. So we appreciate you for reaching out to us. Like, we appreciate, you know, the Bag family. We appreciate Molly from Mo2. You know, we appreciate Jenny and Michael. We appreciate our UK brothers and sisters, because I'm telling you, our brothers and sisters have rallied around us. I mean, they seen us cry. They're like, do y'all live in Mo2s? We didn't feel safe at Ghana property, but God has placed people in our path where we know we can't turn around and go back. We have, I don't know, I keep saying to Phoenix, I don't know what happened. Like, I got off the plane and how did this become my life? How did I become a pioneer? All I was trying to do is live my dreams. But I do know that the Creator and our ancestors know that we are strong enough to deal with this. A lot of people didn't say anything, but Kwesi and Art has met the right one in Shauntay White and Phoenix Rain, because we are not going to stand for this. We have businesses, we have reputations, and they think that we're just going to hold the bag. No, I'm going to sing like a bird to save other people. Now, the investors that come over, we do have things in place. We're trying to save them where they can stay in one of our properties, you know, based on their investment. We don't want them to miss out on coming to the Gambia. We don't want them, but we also don't want them to have to pay more. So we're going to take a hit. We are, but in the end, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. You know, we're going to do a video of this property that we're in now. If Art and Kwesi would have did right by the money, they could have got a property like this. They could have, but that's why I think it is on purpose. They got the bottom of the bottom dumps so they can act like they're fixing it up, but they can skim money off. Because as we looked at properties, they did not, for 60, I'm just going to say 70,000. I know it's more than that, but for 70,000, they could have got a couple vehicles, dependable vehicles like Mercedes Benzes. Oh my God, they're amazing cars out here. But they could have got a Toyota. They could have got a dependable vehicle for the organization. They could have secured at least 2 properties and not fix them up, but make them furnish them, or make them how the interior design is what I'm trying to say. Because a lot of these places are furnished. As we look at these properties, I see the setup. They did this on purpose. This was not by chance, because there are plenty of properties that they could have got. There was a 6-bedroom that we saw. I think they wanted like 8,500 or 95. So if the project is 10,000, this place is clean. It has 3 stories. It has a rooftop. They look for the most horrible property, the property that needed the most work for a reason, in my opinion. And I think that was to skim the money off top, because they didn't have to get these properties that needed all this work, not with the money they were playing with, not with the money that the investments came in. They could have gotten air conditioners, you know, but they didn't. But one thing I can say is, he keeps talking about this corporate model. This is a corporate model. This is a corporate model. Well, technically with the corporate models, the investors own everything, not the director. So I don't know what's going to happen, but there's independent auditors and things like that.
You're going to have to.
Because technically those properties are mine.
Yeah.
With the investment money, those properties are mine.
Yeah. Did you keep your receipts? I
got all of my receipts.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Always keep a paper trail. Always keep a paper trail. But yes, the investors, those properties are the investors. If we pay for those, so whatever is going to happen is going to happen. There's things, like I said, that's going on behind the scenes that I can't talk about. It's legal things, but you best believe Kwesi and Art are going to get theirs. That's why he's so erratic with these posts. That's why he's so erratic with these videos, because he knows his castle is crashing down.
Yeah, I'll make sure I send him. I'll make sure I send him the message as well, that people are watching him. He knows this already. He knows this already because he's seen these comments. That's if he's reading these comments. He's seen the comments and he knows people. His time is starting to wind up. He's probably thinking about his own exit strategy, and it's probably just going to be his exit strategy.
Yes, because specifically, these are one of the things, like from the business side, he is such a user. So he has, excuse me, he has his workers, he has his team that he keeps talking about. If you see his business hub, they have computers, maybe about 5 computers there. And they all have their own Facebook page, but he gets them to sign in. And then he hops from computer to computer. You know, there's his right-hand guy, I really don't want to say his name, but there's his right-hand guy. He always say, this is my right-hand dude. This man has tarnished this man's name. He's a Gambian brother. They furnished the property based off of this man, based off of who this guy is in the community, right? Kwesi has ran up the credit. So these people are calling this young man because they want their money. And Kwesi, he doesn't care about that. This young man doesn't even deal with investments. He doesn't, but in my investment thread, he's under this young man's name talking about investments. Now, if you think about the legal point of it, he's doing this on purpose, because when it comes down to it and people are printing things out, well, that's under his name. That's not me. That's not me. But what he doesn't know is, well, maybe he doesn't realize, when he's in other people's thing, he will say, if he's in another worker's account, he will say, this is Kwesi. So what do? We screenshot it, right? Because we know in the end, he's going to say, that wasn't me. And that's what really frustrates me it frustrates me with him. And when I'm talking to his team players, like, he has really used mind control on these young people. I would say these children, because I'm 41, okay? These are 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. They're children. They really haven't experienced anything, especially here, right? Most of the time they quit school to work. So he is playing on them and playing on their minds. But he's using them to take the downfall. He's used Phoenix to use her PayPal to take the downfall. And that's what really upsets me. And what he's doing to these young girls, you pay them. You don't pay them with something that's between your pants. Excuse my French, but you don't do that. And one of the young ladies came to me and she was like, he's saying that she's his wife. She was like, I'm not his wife. He wants me to be his wife. I don't want him. But then I see how he's interacting with her and he's rubbing her. This was the first day I was there. He stayed at the house. Was the first day? No, maybe it's the second or the third day I was there. He stayed at the house with her. She didn't want him there. He hops from house to house, from bed to bed. He's not even Muslim. That's the Muslim culture to have 4 wives, but it also says that you are supposed to be able to love them equally. Not just loving them in the bedroom. You're supposed to be able to financially take care of them. You're not supposed to take money from somewhere else to take care of your 4 wives. He got 2 people pregnant. One of them is not even his wife, sir. This man,
Wow.
And when it comes to the young people, that's what hurts my heart, because so many of our young girls are railroaded in America here. There's sex slavery. I'm not with that. I'm with female empowerment, not where we don't need a man. No, but where they can have some self-confidence and some self-esteem. I've seen these girls, they were so sad the first week. They weren't saying anything. And I know it's respect. I'm older, so she doesn't look at me. But I told her, look at me. Look at me. We came home, hello, they met us at the gate. And I've seen these girls within 1 week just transform. And that's why I know that's why I'm supposed to be here. He doesn't stop this train. Art doesn't stop this train. They about to get kicked off the train anyway. But
that's beautiful to hear. And there are going to be so many people that are going to be so happy to hear that that you're setting up an organization as well yourselves. And it looks like you're going to base your organization on integrity and trust and respect and not on
transparency.
Money. And transparency, yeah, exactly. And this is something that diasporans who are moving to Africa are looking for. A lot of them are not big. They don't care about money because they've lived in the West. It's easy to get a job out here and make enough money to live a decent living. It's easy to do that, but a lot of them are looking for something else. They're looking for a different kind of life. And they are hoping to get away from people just like Art Catheys.
Yes. Yes. That's what I said.
Can you imagine how traumatized these people are coming in from the West, away from people like Art Catheys and Kwesi, landing in the Gambia, only to be put in the exact same situation with people who are concentrated versions of those in the West.
Correct. Mm-hmm. You know, it's funny that you said that because ever since, excuse me, it's this air condition.
It's okay.
I gotta cut it off. It's killing me. But we do have air conditioning, thank God.
Oh, wow, yeah, it's cold. That's good.
One of the things I kept saying with all of this was going on from day 1, day 2, day 3, it just kept getting worse and worse. And I was just like, this is not what I moved here for. This is not, because I didn't move here yet, but this is not what I came here for. I came here, you know, to get away from the drama that's going on in America and to come here and be thrown into this. And I'm just, every day I ask, how did this become my life? How did this become my life? Okay.
We're going to help this person get to their deal with their family emergency.
Okay.
Be about $400 US is what they need.
Okay. So while I was speaking with you, excuse me, we just learned of someone that works with the brother, and it's a family emergency, and he won't help. And if you are willing to use your platform, I'm trying not to cry because she's standing right in front of me. But she needs $400 US dollars. So if anyone is willing to donate, we will be transparent as to where the money is going. But this is just another example of, this is the second person that has worked with him where he refused to help them. He refused to help them, but he wants these young women to be his wives and all that, but he refuses to help them. So we're going to, if you, Phoenix just wanted me to let you know.
If you can.
People have started doing donations.
Yeah. So what I'll do, because I've got Phoenix's Cash App, her PayPal. If you can send me your Cash App as well. Okay. And I know I put it in the description box in the last video that the money for the expats who are coming over, the ones that are coming over that need that help, they're going to sign it with expat. What shall we put for this one? Should we put this help or as
So if I would think Me personally, I think it really, if we're gonna do some type of fund, it should be for the staff. Because like they're coming from, you know, really hard situations and he's not paying them. So, I mean, we can handle certain things. I don't know. Let me just think about how it should be labeled, because it would be staff. It would be for things for the property, but whatever, I just want people to know whatever they send, if they cash out through any of our cash apps or the PayPal, we will show you it's content. I will do a video. This is the money that you sent. This is how much it transferred into Delasi, and this is where it's going.
Mhm.
Because coming from this nonsense with all of this lies and scamming, we have to be fully transparent because people already have trust issues.
Mhm.
But I mean, you could label it help. I do like the idea that you gave Phoenix about the GoFundMe. I do feel like we should do that because honestly, right now, the funds are coming from me.
It's free to set
They're
up.
coming directly out of my pocket.
It's free to set up, and you know, we're better working as a team. You know, 20 euros may not be a lot of money to one person, but when 100 people are giving you 20 euros, it can make a massive difference. It could be a life or death situation that you could save somebody with that 20 euros. So I will put the link in the description box, and I'll make sure I explain to people where the money's going and that it will be transparent. And hopefully we'll keep up to date with not just with you and Phoenix, but with the staff. And if you could make videos about the staff, that would be great as well. And about this young lady, you don't have to make a video about this young lady, but let us know how it goes with her. That would be well appreciated.
Correct.
As well.
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
Correct. Because I know some don't want to be on camera, but
yeah,
if they will.
That's okay. No, they don't have to be on camera. They don't have to be. All we need is for you to tell us that they are okay, and we'll be happy with that. Okay. Listen, okay. I'm not going to take.
We can do that.
I'm not going to take any more of your time. It's been almost 2 hours. I really thank you for giving me all this time. I wasn't expecting.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
No, it really is. And please, we'll keep